Good morning and welcome to Ask the Expert, an award-winning daily series from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. to help small businesses just like yourself. If you have any questions, ask them in the comments of the live feed. If you need any more advice, join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group on Facebook. Accountants and business experts just like myself are on hand 24/7. And during the live session, we'll be running a poll. So please do engage with it and I'll reveal the results at the end. Okay, so who am I? My name is Aaron Patrick and it's a pleasure to be with you again. I'm a chartered accountant, a QuickBooks certified trainer with a fancy new logo, as you can read just here if you look closely. So don't be afraid to ask any QuickBooks related questions. I also have a state-of-the-art accounting firm called Boffix, which uses the best in cloud technology available to help small businesses get the crucial real-time information they need at their fingertips. If you require accounting advice, payroll, bookkeeping services, and now even QuickBooks Online training, then please do get in touch. We don't want small business just to survive, we want them to thrive. I also have a dedicated QuickBooks YouTube channel called Aaron Patrick, the QuickBooks Chat. So if you need any more questions or news or information about QuickBooks and advice, then why not go over there and give the channel a follow. Okay, enough about me and let's focus on today's session. As always, this session is all about you and your burning questions. If you have any questions, then please use any of the social channels to get in touch. So while we wait for the first of the question to arrive, let's talk about some issues that have been affecting our clients as of late. And first of all, a public service announcement, one that only just launched yesterday. If you remember back at the very start of the pandemic, there was a little thing called a VAT deferment. So in essence, what was happened is you were given the opportunity to not pay the first VAT quarter that was available in the pandemic. You were given the opportunity to not pay that at all, and it was treated as a little loan for you. The problem was that that loan or that payment for that VAT quarter was due the 31st of March 2021, which isn't very far away at all. If you think about it, it's what, 5-6 days away? But HMRC has a new scheme that lets you do the following. It lets you pay that VAT deferment in equal installments, so much like a loan, and best of all, it's completely interest-free. You get to choose a number of installments from 2 to 11, depending on when you join. Now, the scheme has been open for a couple of weeks, but it's been really confusing for clients to find the link, to get themselves signed up, and it's been really difficult for us to promote it and to tell you guys to get yourself signed up and ready to go. But not no more. Now, from your business tax account, so that's the place where you log in to pay your VAT bill, look at your VAT bill, see what's been due, and everything else, from that exact area, you get the prompt to sign up from the scheme from there. That's exactly the same area you've been using before, and it's going to make that scheme so much easier for you to find. The installment options available to you when you decide to join the scheme will determine the maximum number of installments that are available to you to utilize, which range from 10 months to 8 months. So please don't delay. The sooner as you get involved and get yourself signed up, the more installment options you're going to have available. Just a few kind of tips though. Before you join, you must create your own government gateway account if you don't already have one. You can't have an agent, unfortunately, doing this for you. You need to submit any VAT returns that are outstanding for the last 4 years, otherwise you'll not be able to join the scheme. You need to correct errors on a VAT return as soon as possible, and you need to make sure you know how much you owe at all points. So make sure you know how much you've already paid for that deferment and how much is available. So as I said, you can't have your agent to connect for you, which is the important thing. So this is something you have to do yourself. So please, please, please make sure you got yourself involved and get yourself into that account. That's going to be your most important bit. Make sure that you know how much is paid over, and then all you need to do then is sign up for the direct debit, pick your installments, and you are good to go. So please do get yourself signed up ASAP. It's a perfect opportunity to set it up, so don't miss the extra time and the option you've got for spreading that installments. Don't miss out on that. And that's the end of my public service announcement regarding VAT deferment. Do know I released a video just yesterday on how to apply, including step-by-step on-screen instructions of actually running you through that process. So if you're struggling at any point, jump onto that video and I'll get one of the team to put that link in below. So you have no excuse to delay to get yourself in that VAT deferment scheme and make those installments as soon as possible. Okay, what else have I got to talk about today? Well, my other topic for today is about QuickBooks Connect, which was at the start of this month, and also about their new spring release. So QuickBooks has a tendency to now release, or at least explain and tell people about their new releases in quarterly updates, and we're up to our spring release. We talked about all of these changes we're about to talk about and all these new features in our podcast. So QuickBook Labs, a little bit of a plug there for you, which will air live next Tuesday at 4:30 p.m. should I say, and then every 2 Tuesdays thereafter. Our last episode, which you can catch on demand on any podcast service around the world or on my YouTube channel, we talked about all these exciting announcements in detail. So why not go and give that a listen if you've got some time. So let's go through the announcement then. First of all, and this is a really big one, this is the one I'm probably the most excited for, it's the QuickBooks Business Account. It's a brand new way to manage your money. Soon you'll be able to get paid, settle bills, and more while cutting down admin and enjoying unbeatable cash flow insights. I certainly can't wait for this feature. So the idea of this feature is think about a bank account that's actually connected directly into QuickBooks itself. You'll have the opportunity to make payments directly from QuickBooks, look at true real-time insights. You'll be able to, when you ask for money to be paid to you, you'll be able to get access to that instantly. It really should be a truly modern bank account, you know, think like your Starling, your Revolut, them sort of type of bank accounts, but built directly inside QuickBooks itself. I know there's some really exciting opportunities that I'm already thinking about how I'm going to utilize this technology, how I'm going to improve it for my business. And I know a lot of clients who are going to be doing the same. So I'm looking forward to an opportunity to try this out. And obviously, I'll be recording more on that as soon as I possibly can. As soon as I get my hands on it, they will be reviews and everything up on the channel. Next up, the revolutionary QuickBooks Cashflow Planner is going from strength to strength, but it was only the start. So the Cashflow Planner that was released, I want to say 9 months ago now, was a great start and a great way for definitely for our clients to be prepared during the pandemic. That idea that you're not just thinking about what your next or what your bank balance is now, but you can start predicting it for the next 3 months. Well, we got some exciting features coming the way for that one, including the way or the opportunity to look for 24 months instead, and enhanced features which include invoice payment predictions as well. Now, the idea of this now is that the data is starting to be gathered on your cash flow for the last 3 months. Well, let's expand that. Let's have a look even further and see how your cash flow is going to be affected. We've also been teased as well that it can be connected to the new QuickBooks Bank feature. And the idea then is you can then move around payment dates and everything else so that you're not going to hit yourself with any overdrawn bank accounts or anything like that. It truly is going to change the way that we plan our money. It's going to give us the opportunity to literally pick and choose when we're going to make payments, when we receive payments, things like that, and then we can be in full control of our cash flow. It's going to come at the absolute perfect time, as we've got clients who are now starting to go through recovery, trying to start ramping back up again. Cash flow is going to be so important to them, as we've got all of these loans that are starting to be paid, like your bounce back loan and your VAT deferment and all that sort of stuff. We need to be more than ever keeping an eye on our cash flow. So this is a perfect time for this enhancement to come through. Also, just so you know, Tags has been fully released. It's now out of beta. If you haven't been using Tags yet, please do consider it. Tags is an easy way to label transactions, and more importantly, they don't affect your books in any way. The results is clear insights and help you make better decisions. We use Tags more than anything else for discoverability. So if you think about it, if you've just got to post something on your bank account and you're not 100% sure if you've done it right, or you're not 100% sure if that's the right way of doing it, you can put a little tag on there so that you can find that easily later back in line. Maybe you're going to call it something like for review or to chat later, something like that. That then gives you the confidence and the idea, then you can go back to it and check, or ask your accountant or ask your business advisor to check it for you. Either way, Tags is a really good way of being able to put discoverability against your transactions. So I really do think tell people and encourage people to go and have a look at that. They also announced the bank transfers option, so a new way for you to get your invoice paid. So experience bank transactions with added speed and security. The latest technology lets you accept these handy payments in a couple of clicks from a pay button on a QuickBooks invoice. There's no need to share your bank details with customers, so you'll cut the risk of fraud and make it super simple. You can already do this with PayPal now. So the idea is you send an invoice out from QuickBooks, you can have a Pay Now button on there, and it goes through PayPal. But what's happening is it's expanding that functionality, so you don't just have to use PayPal, but you can actually have a direct bank transfer to your bank. And the way that it's been implemented is really, really slick and tidy. You can literally put a Pay Now button in, your client presses that Pay Now button, and there's no risk of having to worry about your bank details or anything like that. It'll all flow through beautifully. A few more quick ones as well. The tax estimates is becoming more smarter. So the income tax estimate in QuickBooks Online, released late last year, will now see some pretty important improvements. Now you can see full details of how that tax figure is made up, and also you're going to have the ability to start looking at disallowable expenses. It's the disallowable expenses bit that gets me excited. That's really going to help us be able to make more accurate at predicting our clients' tax figures going forward. Last thing we want to do is tell clients they've got a smaller tax bill than is actually due. Final bit as well is making tax digital. So they have a really aptly named title of Beta the Devil You Know, or Better the Data You Know. Over the last 2 years, making tax digital rules will come into force for income tax returns, and rest assured QuickBooks are well and truly on the case. Intuit QuickBooks is working with HMRC as the beta is developed. So when the time comes, you will be fully compliant. I personally have signed up for this beta. I'm really looking forward to having a go, seeing exactly what making tax digital is, and I will be sharing all of my experience on my YouTube channel, so stay tuned on that one. Speaking of the channel, did you hear about the OneSaaS acquisition as well? This one wasn't announced, but it is something that's hugely important. So OneSaaS is an integration platform for QuickBooks, and it's been acquired by Intuit QuickBooks themselves, and it means that the solutions are completely free. So as an example, you can connect your eBay managed payments or eBay itself directly to QuickBooks. They can talk to each other beautifully. And again, I've done a dedicated video about that one. It only dropped on Tuesday, and it has been one that's been really, really popular. So do have a look at that one. Overall, 2020 was a huge year for QuickBooks. I was so happy to have a look at all that's happened, but 2021 is going to be even bigger. I can definitely rest assured on that one. We've got some great innovations coming. The bank itself could be a huge change in the way that we deal with our books and deal with our bank and everything else. I'm really looking forward to getting into it. Okay, that's the last of my little intro into what's happened to QuickBooks. Again, small little plug, but do look at my YouTube channel for more information on everything I've just talked about. Literally every one of those topics I've covered in some form or other in a video over the last couple of weeks. So if you want any more of your burning questions answered, then this is your chance. Remember, we are fully live now, so use that comment box below. But let's get over to the first of your question. This is what this is all about. This is the most important part of it. Okay then, so first question is from Ricky Lee. So hello Ricky, how's it going? I am really glad that you've been able to wake yourself up early for this one. He's got a great channel, by the way. Ricky Lee resells everything on YouTube, a cracking channel, highly recommend it. Really gives you some insights on setting up your own business. What happens if you claim one of these grants on offer to people who have not been self-employed long enough to claim the last ones? I'm considering it. Great question there, Ricky. So just to give you some context, when they first announced all of these schemes that were going out there, so self-employed income support scheme, when that was first announced, there was a lot of businesses that weren't eligible for it at the time. And the reason for that was that HMRC deemed them as only just being started up, so they didn't have the history they needed to be able to go and claim that particular claim at that point. So what happened is, when we've got to our third and fourth claim, and also to our fifth claim, is they've slowly started to open up the eligibility. So it means that more businesses are now able to get that claim. So if you weren't eligible for that first claim back in the a year ago, then do consider seeing if you're now eligible now. And you'll see that for a lot of businesses, then eligibility has now been opened. Now for Ricky here, he's questioning if that's going to be a good move for him, or if it's something that if one of the claims of these are on offer, what's going to be the effect of it. Personally, I would definitely say that if you have any form of issues with the way that your cash flow is running at the moment, in the way that your business has been affected by the pandemic itself, then I would highly recommend looking to claim. When it comes to your criteria, then the criteria has to be that you have been adversely affected. Now, HMRC are going to be running some additional tests on these, or checks, should I say, on these new schemes. Well, these new schemes are basically going to be looking at how affected were you. So they're going to be looking at different aspects of it. So they're going to be looking at what you actually released in your last tax return and compared to the tax return before, and they will then have different criteria. Basically, if they're giving you the opportunity to come and collect that scheme, they've already done that assessment for you, and they're already going to be deciding what level of support they're going to be giving you. So don't worry about how much support you can claim for. They've already done that bit for you, but do make sure that if you are eligible, have a look through your books, have a look and see how affected you are. And if you have been affected, please do take that support as needed. It definitely is going to be something that is worthwhile. Again, have a look at Ricky Lee's channel. I know it's a great little channel on YouTube. So Gemma from Twitter DM says, hello, Gemma, how's it going? How do I know that the VAT installment applies to me? Great question here, Gemma. So the first thing to make sure that you understand is this is all about getting yourself into your own personal VAT account. So the VAT account itself is all about your My Business tax account on HMRC. So if you go onto HMRC itself, go in and log into there, you'll need a 10-digit number and then a password, and you'll get yourself in there. Now, you should already be doing it. If you haven't been doing it that way before, if you've never had to access your VAT account before, then please, please, please do go and get yourself registered ASAP, because there is a time delay in actually getting yourself registered to getting access. They send you a code through the post and all sorts of things. So it's going to take you a good 7 days if you've never registered before. So highly recommend you go onto the government website, go into log into your business account. From there, when you're in there, you'll see directly what's happening with your VAT. As soon as you go into your VAT, it's going to tell you how much you owe at that point in time. And it's going to tell you, if you haven't paid yet, the quarter that we're on about. So again, a year ago, we were given the option as businesses not to pay our VAT quarter at that point in time, so that we had an opportunity to be able to weather the storm in terms of the pandemic. Now, at that point, when you log in, it will also tell you if you're eligible for the scheme. So it's really straightforward. Get yourself signed into that business tax account. From there, you're going to be able to see straight in front of you if you're going to be eligible or not. And it's also going to guide you through exactly how to make the payment, or to at least get yourself signed up to the scheme and get yourself in those installments. This is why it's been so important that it's now in that area. Prior to this, and it was only released again yesterday, day before, it was only released a couple of days ago on the business tax account. The reason it's so important it's there now is because it means that more people are going to get access to the scheme, more people are going to understand it and see it, whereas before there was quite a few hoops to jump through. So have a look on your thing. It'll be worthwhile, even if you aren't eligible, it's always worthwhile getting yourself into that VAT area in there. Curtis, hopefully that helps you there, Gemma. Curtis from Facebook Messenger asks, hi Aaron, I have multi-currency enabled on my QuickBooks account. How can I use the Cashflow Planner? Unfortunately, Curtis, at this point in time, if you've got multi-currency turned on, you cannot use the Cashflow Planner. Now, that will be one of the enhancements that will be coming soon, and they will enable that so it will work for us going forward. But as of now, we don't have that option. The other unfortunate news as well, we can't turn multi-currency off. So at this point, you are unable to utilize it. What I would say, though, if you do want to test it out, though, maybe consider thinking of having a separate QuickBooks license that hasn't been, have your cash flow turned on, multi-currency turned on, just to have a look and play a bit. You get 33 days anyway of QuickBooks, so maybe that's a good way of just testing it out, see what it's like. I really, really like the Cashflow Planner. I think it's been a great addition to QuickBooks itself. So hopefully you'll be able to get that installed as soon as possible. We've had Surfer Firm from Facebook Messenger ask the following question. So, hi Aaron, I wanted to check if the changes made to Cashflow Planner affect the entries in my QuickBooks account. Great question there. And the best thing about this is no, it's a completely separate area. You basically have this area where you can make as many little adjustments and play with the numbers as much as you like, and they won't affect anything on the rest of your QuickBooks account. And that's crucial. That gives you the confidence that you can play around to your heart's content, try different scenarios out. That's what we've been using it for. When it comes to things like the fact that we're getting a reduction in our in our furlough payment coming up, we've been putting those deductions into our clients' accounts so they can see how that is going to have an effect on their cash flow. That's the place where you get to do that, knowing that you're not going to affect your VAT returns or your tax returns or anything daft like that. You've literally got a playground where you can go in and you can see how your cash flow is going, and you can play with it to your heart's content. I really like that, the fact that it's completely up to you, your own little playground to understand exactly how your cash flow is going to be. And as I said, it's only going to get better. So soon we're going to get that opportunity to be able to make payments directly from there, move payments around, all sorts of things. Really going to be exciting times. So do have a go at that cash flow. Do start seeing what the power of that cash flow can be so that you can start taking advantage of all the goodness that comes with it. Okay, Julius from Instagram DM asks, hi, Aaron, is the VAT deferral scheme interest-free or not? Great question there, Julius. So really simply put, it is completely interest-free, which is great news for us businesses. But just remember those certain bits of deadline and certain bits of information you need to know. For first of all, to be eligible for it, you must make sure all your VAT returns have been filed in on time, and they're all in, should I say. So make sure even you have filed or you've delayed a particular VAT return, make sure you get that filed in. That will then be one of the criteria for getting yourself in the scheme in the first place. So make sure you've got that. And then when you go to sign up to the scheme, you just choose how many dates or how long do you want to spread that installments over. So you pick how many days you want or months you want until it gets paid. You also get to pick what date that money comes out your bank account. And then once you've gone through all that, yes, it's completely interest-free. You get a nice little breakdown of when all of those payments are going to come through. So really great scheme that they've kind of put together. And they've really thought about the little details, like when you want to make the payment, what your payment scheme is going to be, and you can see exactly what's going to come through, and you get to use that going from there. So yeah, Julius, it's completely interest-free. So if you're eligible for it, please take advantage of it. You've got nothing to lose. And it just gives, in times like this, cash flow is so important. You know, we're going through recovery. We want to. So if that's going to help you, please, please, please take advantage of it sooner rather than later, because every month that goes by, you're getting closer to that deadline of the 21st of June. And also, the sooner you get yourself locked in, the less, or the more, should I say, installment days that you have. Therefore, the lower those monthly payments are going to be. So do have a look and keep an eye on that one. We've had Ewart from Facebook Messenger ask the following. I'm a bit confused about tags, classes, and categories. What's the difference between them in QuickBooks Online? Great question there. And that's one that I think came out straight away as soon as tags was announced. Now, just to give you some context, tags was announced in beta, I want to say 6 months ago, maybe a little bit sooner than that. And when it was first released, it was given as this to be able to put these tags onto different transactions. And as I said in my intro, we're using it for discoverability. But straight away, people put in comparisons to that to classes and locations. And for anyone who doesn't know, classes and locations is one of the advanced features in QuickBooks. It gives you an opportunity to basically put pins in each individual transaction so that you can do some really fancy reporting with them. For example, if you've got a business that sells on both an online platform and physical platform, you can split those transactions so that you can run a report and see your P&L on your online platform versus your P&L on your physical platform. And it gives you lots of options like that. So for certain businesses, when they really want to get into those numbers and really want to understand it, class and locations can be invaluable to them. So understand how their business is going, understand what's going on, and make really important decisions. When tags came along, first of all, people were comparing them to like for like. Now, personally, I don't see that as like for like. I see that classes and locations are for people who know what if they've already been using class and locations, they know how powerful they are, and they know that that is the right solution for them. So most people who are using class and locations should continue to use classes and locations. They're doing it right, they're getting the information they need, and it's really helping them be able to get most out of their QuickBooks license. On the other hand, though, tags is designed to be a more simplified version of that. First of all, it's open to absolutely everyone. You don't have to be in one of the higher tiers of QuickBooks. So that's a great thing. So it means that anyone can utilize it. But I also don't see it as a direct replacement or even a competitor to class and locations. Class and locations, again, have their way and they are invaluable to certain businesses. Tags available to everyone, and think about it as a discoverability tool. Think about that time when you've been posting something on your bank account and you've had that little moment of doubt in the back of your head where you thought to yourself, am I putting the right VAT code on here? Am I putting this to the right category? Am I doing this correctly? Or you've posted it to it and you know that you haven't got the receipt quite yet for it and you've got to go and chase for that receipt. Well, if you've already posted that transaction to QuickBooks, it can be sometimes really difficult to find that particular transaction. What tags does is eliminates that problem altogether. If you put a tag on there that relates to you, these are your tags, so call them whatever you want to call them, then that means you've got that opportunity to go back and find that particular transaction really easy. We're using it in our practice to highlight maybe transactions that don't have receipts on them, maybe highlight transactions that we want to ask our client a bit more information on, maybe highlight transactions that we want our clients to be aware of that they may not known has happened. That's what we're using tags to be. It's all about discoverability. It's all about being able to find a transaction easily again. And what we can use that for is clever ways to be able to find that information. You'll see lots of people using tags for lots of different things. I did a whole video on this subject over on the channel. So please, if you are confused about tags in any way, do a little search for QuickBooks tags. I'll pop up there with my little video on there and I'll go through it in a lot more detail for you, showing you exactly what it's been used for. Promise you though, it's a great solution and something that a lot of people are getting the most out of. So hopefully we've answered that question for you. Next question is from Geralt from Twitter DM. Hello, how's it going? Good morning. What is the essential data that I should include for the Cashflow Planner to give me the best forecast? Most importantly, and it is a requirement that it comes in there, is your bank must be connected. Basically, QuickBooks is going to be utilizing the bank data itself. So it's going to be looking at what's happening on that bank data, and it's going to be using that bank data to predict the next couple of months or 24 months when that finally comes around out of beta. Now, with that being so important, and it is important that we get that right, that is a criteria. You won't see your cash flow planner working at all until you've got that connection. So that's your one and only essential piece of data you need. The other ones that are going to make things better for you, though, is using QuickBooks what it's intended for. So sending your sales invoices out of there, then the Cashflow Planner will know if there's any sales invoices that are due to be paid, putting bills on there, and it knows if there's any bills that need still to be paid, and it's going to give you the opportunity to be able to pick and choose as you go forward and use all of the features. Basically, QuickBooks Cashflow Planner looks at the whole of the QuickBooks ecosystem, picks out what it needs. But if you've got your bank account connected, you're sending sales invoices out there, and you're keeping your bills and everything up to date, it's going to have everything you need to be really, really precise on those predictions going forward. Good luck with it. Hopefully that works quite well for you. Our final question, can't believe it's already at the time. Oriel asks the following question. Hi, Aaron, signed up to QuickBooks not too long ago. How can I track and view who I've emailed the CIS statements to? Great question on this one. I'm going to do a little plug on this one. We at the QuickBooks training team, we actually run a CIS webinar. We do this now on a monthly basis. So please, please, please do have a look out for our CIS one. We go through many different scenarios, including this question here. Just to give you a bit of an insight on what you can do here, the best thing for you to do is if you go into your CIS section, go into the relevant area, you can see which ones have been submitted or emailed from there. So yeah, do sign up to the CIS one because so much have changed. Even ourselves as the training team, we're trying to keep on top of all the different changes, how they've come through and everything else. So yeah, I really do think that that's going to be the best place to go for that one. Wonderful. All right. Well, with that then, that is our final question. Hopefully I've been able to answer all your questions. I know there's a couple more that's come in, so do turn in tomorrow and ask those questions as well, or to one of us who's coming back on then going forward. So I did tell you at the beginning of the show that we were going to be running a poll, and you guys have come through and answered the poll brilliantly. So the question I asked you was, have you ever sacrificed anything for your employees? And that's a really important question at this time, especially what's going on and everything that's gone through. 30% of you answered yes, with the other 70% saying no. I'm really surprised at that. And I can completely understand it. I completely see where it's going with that 70% of no. But, you know, I think a lot of people don't realize how much they have sacrificed. I think one of the things is we're not very honest with ourselves when it comes to sacrificing. Even the small things, the fact that, you know, we've allowing our employees to work from home. I know we were forced to, but we're not forcing them back anytime soon. Little things like that, we're giving them the opportunity to have furlough. We're helping our clients as much as we can. At the end of the day, they are, you know, our employees are part of our business. We're going to be making sure that they feel as safe and secure during this pandemic as everyone else needs to be as well. So, you know, don't let yourself, you know, don't give yourself a pat on the back. You know, think about how much you have been pushing and how much you are sacrificing yourself and for your employees. Okay, it's time for me to wrap up now. So thank you for all for tuning in this morning. It's really been great. Some amazing questions. So keep that up and keep them coming into going forward. If you want to get in contact with me, then please feel free to use hello@boffix.com or find me on YouTube. That's by far the best place to find me, and get yourself signed up and subscribe to there. Coming up tomorrow, we have a huge expert coming in tomorrow. We've got Michaela Wayne. So if you remember her from The Apprentice, can't wait to have her on. She's a founder of the Design and Build UK and has spent 11 years starting and scaling companies within the construction industry. She's also a speaker and a candidate, as I said, on BBC The Apprentice. I definitely will be tuning in tomorrow. She's one of my favorite contestants to ever appeared on there. So I'm really excited to ask a few questions and see what she has to say. Tune in to get top advice from Michaela and learn about how she's paving the way for women in construction. Don't forget to join the official Intuit QuickBooks SMB community group. Facebook accountants and business experts are at hand 24/7, just like me. Have a great day, everyone. Stay safe, and I'm sure I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.